Dogs have a special place in our lives. Whether it's waiting at the door when they know you're coming, or wagging and happily barking when excited for food, we can always count on our faithful companions to cheer us up. They live with us, play with us, and even sleep with us. They've not only become our best friends, but have also inspired us in numerous different ways: cinema, art, and even music. But how did a once fearsome wolf like animal evolve over to become beloved members of our family? How did it happen that a species that only answered to the call of the wild started listening to the children of Eve? These dogs may not look similar, but if you trace their lineages far enough back in time, all dogs share the same ancestor, the wild wolf. Grey wolves and dogs diverged from an extinct wolf species some 40,000 years ago. Our partnership with the canines dates back centuries, with estimates ranging from 10,000 to 30,000 years ago, and have proved to be better than fellow humans on multiple occasions. While we don't actually know why humans domesticated what was essentially a wild carnivorous competitor in the food chain, we do know that once that relationship was established, humans were selecting very rapidly for the most sociable wolves. Because, we humans have a tendency to form societies based on certain attributes. A new study reveals how people and dogs actually have a similar genetic makeup. Surprising, right? As it turns out, we share a similar chromosome with our fur babies. It was discovered that the dogs had a part of a chromosome that the wolves were missing. This section of chromosome contains unusual genetic materials that are related to a dog's desire for human company and contact. It's like humans mark their territory on probably the most effective level, the genes. What was interesting about this study is not the differences between wolves and the domesticated dogs, but rather how similar dogs and humans might be. To put it simply, the same gene that makes dog domestic makes humans social. This suggests that perhaps the wolves themselves sought out human company, or at least that humans encouraged the social behavior of wolves that already showed some desire for human contact or to be a part of the human settlement that provided fire and scrap bones. Survival of the friendliest, I guess. If early humans came into contact with a wolf that had a personality of being interested in them and only lived with and bred those primitive dogs, they would have exaggerated the trait of being social in the dog gene pool. So essentially, it's possible that we did not domesticate dogs. Dogs domesticated themselves. Wait, so who was playing and who was being played? Damn, this is tricky. But of course, there was a payoff in man and the tamed wolves becoming a dynamic hunting duo. Human skills combined with wolf speed and sense of smell turned them into complementary partners who tracked and captured prey to their mutual benefit. Humans offered wolves fire and a reliable food source. Tame wolves provided physical warmth and acted as early warning sentries when strangers or predators approached. Over the years, the animals that accepted this relationship evolved into more and more obedient companions until many generations later, we had finally domesticated dogs and their feral grey wolf phobias died out. The research also revealed that the genetic patterns of the spread of dogs over the planet were almost similar to that of humans, which means that humans were accompanied by their domesticated dogs wherever they moved and shifted, who then evolved into different breeds according to the work they did for their humans and the climate that they shifted to. I wonder what Chihuahua was used for. However, most dog breeds we recognize today were developed only in the last 150 years. Ignited by what we now call the Victorian explosion, when dog breeding intensified and expanded in Great Britain, mostly for beauty pageant purposes. Oh, that's what. Over the years, dogs have evolved to understand human expressions better than even our closest cousins. They understand normal human body language like pointing quite easily as opposed to chimps who need training to do that. They can connect words and objects more clearly than other animals, and just like wolves can sense when a pack member is sad, lonely, or tired, dogs have a surprisingly high level of emotional intelligence. Not only do they understand human feelings, but they also react differently to different emotions. And not just dogs, the companionship between them and the humans has led to mutual evolution of both the species. Something as simple as petting your dog releases oxytocin, the love chemical, which increases our overall sense of being. Even mutual gazing between dogs and humans bonds them and secretes oxytocin, just like it bonds people and their non-fur children. Relationships in other mammals between mom and child or between mates also does feature oxytocin bonding, but the human-dog example is the only case in which it has been observed between two different species. No matter if you're a dog person or consider a dog man's best friend or not, they definitely are our oldest friends, perhaps just a result of a solitary hunter befriending an injured wolf. If you guys are new to the channel, then I do encourage you to smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single video on our channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button below. We make content on a wide range of subjects, and you can even suggest us the topics you want us to cover in the comment section below.